Today in our 2018 Ford F-150, we're going to take a look at and show you how to install the CURT Custom Fit Class 4 Trailer Hitch Receiver, offering the 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. Its part number is C14017. Here's what our hitch is going to look like installed. As you can see, we get all the benefits of a Class 4 hitch without having to completely change the looks of the back of our truck. We can still keep the real nice clean appearance. Our cross tube remains hidden up here behind the bumper, so you're not going to have to look at that every day when you walk outside. With it being a Class 4 hitch, it has nice high weight ratings. We'll talk about that later, but it still has the 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. That's going to make it extremely versatile. Now, whatever you decide on, you'll want to use the 5/8 diameter pinhole to secure all of those items in place. You want to choose an accessory that's rated up to what you're going to be hauling. So you want to make sure that your pin and clip is going to be rated for whatever your trailer weight is, and that it's 5/8 of an inch in diameter. Now, for bike racks and cargo carriers, if you want a locking hitch pin or if you want an anti-rattle bolt to kind of keep them from moving and shaking around, you can go with a Class 3 there, as long again as it's rated for the weight you're going to be using it with. You've got the nice flush reinforcement collar around the end. It's going to be just inside the edge of the bumper, so not going to have any worries about running into it or bumping into it. And compared to the Class 3s from CURT, it's going to have a much more robust safety chain connection point area. It's a steel plate. It's going to cover the entire bottom of the receiver tube, giving that extra strength, but also giving us a lot more support here if we did have an accidental disconnection. It's still going to work out just fine with your smaller trailer style hooks or your small utility trailers, but as you can see, it's going to work really well for even the largest of clevis hooks you might have on your trailer. Now, with this being a Class 4 hitch, we talked earlier about the weight ratings being higher than what we typically get with a Class 3. In this case, we have a 1,000 pound tongue weight capacity, so that's the maximum downward pressure we can put at our receiver tube opening. We have a 10,000 pound gross trailer weight rating. That's going to be the total weight of your trailer and anything you might load up on it. It's also rated for use with weight distribution, so if you have spring bars or a torsion bar set up, the tongue weight rating is going to go up to 1,200 pounds and the gross trailer weight goes up to 12,000 pounds. Just be sure to check the owner's manual on your F-150 to see what it's rated for and go off of whichever sets of numbers are lower. Now, a few measurements you'll find helpful for selecting the proper ball mount bike rack or hitch cargo carrier for your application will be from the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening. We've got about 18 3/4 of an inch. Then from the center of our hitch pinhole to the outermost edge of our bumper, it's going to be about 3 1/4. Now, to begin our installation, you'll see we've removed our spare tire. We're going to get that out of the way. That allows us easier access to our connection points for our hitch. Then we want to come right here on the back side of the passenger side frame rail, come just inside from the bumper, and if this ground wire is on your vehicle, you want to remove that. Use a 10mm socket. You want to remove the bolt completely from it, and then bend that tab out flat. And we'll just tuck that out of the way for now. Now we've got our U-shaped spacer blocks that we need to put in position, and these are going to go over the hole right above where we removed that ground. We'll place them up there. Just like that. You don't want to cover the ground attachment hole. And then with some tape, we can get those held in position. Now, these are going to make sure that we've got a nice flat surface for our hitch to mount to. Then you'll want to just trim out that center section there so our bolt will pass through. And we'll do the same thing for our driver's side. Now we'll grab one of our pull wires. We want to go in that hole, right back here to the back side of the frame, just like that. We'll pull that out, and we'll put on a square hole spacer block, and we're also going to thread our bolt on. Now we're going to place the spacer block in the frame. We just want to work that spacer block in the frame rail, gently pull on our wire and guide our bolt in. Then we want to make sure that they engage one another, and then we can kind of push from the back there and help our bolt through. Then we'll let the whole thing just kind of rest right back in the frame rail. Now we're going to do that same thing on this whole location, using this as our access hole. Now we'll take another square hole spacer block, and we need that just to rest up there for now. The side plate on our hitch is going to come up, and that'll be sandwiched between it. Now we'll head over to the passenger side and repeat that process there. Now with the help of an extra set of hands, we'll get our hitch lifted up into position. You want to place your pull wires through the hitch from the outside towards the middle. And then you'll kind of pull the slack out of them and gently lift our hitch up into position. Then we'll draw our bolts through, and our hitch will actually rest on those. And once you've got your pull wires removed, you want to put a flange nut on each of your bolts. Now we want to go through and snug down all of our hardware. And we can torque it to the specifications listed in our instructions. Now we'll take our ground wire, we're going to install our bolt through that ring terminal, and then we'll thread it right back into the hole it came out of originally. And once you get your spare tire back up in place, that's going to complete our installation of the CURT Custom Fit Class 4 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C14017 on our 2018 Ford F-150.